Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Afzal Badshah, and today in this video I am going to discuss one of my research article, Smart Security Framework for Education Institution Using Internet of Things. I will discuss that what are the main factor, what are the main motivation behind this work, and how I divided this work into different type of different layers, and how I coded this, what type of simulator I used to code all these things, and how it works. So if you are interested in the Internet of Things and you are interested in the smart devices, especially how to code the smart devices and how the fog and cloud computing work, and how the research articles are actually written and coded, then this video may help you. This research article is actually motivated due to the different type of attacks. For example, there was a first attack and the AP school Peshawar, where 100 students were killed. And after that there was another attack. This was a Pakistani university, Charsada University, and dozens of students were killed there. And usually we listen in the newspaper and in the news that the firing and the related activity usually happen in the USA. And Santa Fe High School, Texas, there was a firing in the school, and there were also some casualties. One Pakistani student was also killed there. So these are the main motivation, these are the main motives behind this framework, this research work, to build a smart security framework which will automatically notify the concerned authorities. In this smart security framework, one part is the emergency control room, and the second part is the central emergency control room. The emergency control room is actually the central control room in the institution. This may be in the school, this may be in the college, or this may be in the university. All the sensors installed in the institution stream their data to emergency control room. Emergency control use different type of servers. They use the fog computing technologies, that what type of data should be sent to the central emergency control center. The central emergency control center is situated in the district level, in the state level, where different type of official work, and they monitor all the situation. They have authority to monitor any institution, to monitor their sensor, their cameras, etc. So emergency control room stream data to the central control room. So what type of methodology this study uses to implement this framework? This uses the fog computing, this uses the cloud computing, and also this uses the Internet of Things to design this smart security framework, to notify the official, to notify the authorities within the time, to minimize the losses. The main contribution of this work is that the smart security framework will instantly notify any attack to minimize the disaster or the loss of lives. This is the main parameter, this is the main contribution, that this will notify the concern automatically. There is no panic button, there is no human engagement in this work, and this will automatically notify the concerns. The second is that the concerned people, the concerned official, these may be from police, this may be from defense system, or these may be from hospitals, they monitor this system automatically, remotely monitor this system, because they have authority to get access to the cameras, to get access to different type of the sensor. The second is this collect data, analyze data. The people, the officials who are sitting there, analyze this data, and according to this data, reports are made, decisions are made, and actions are taken. In the methodology, so according to the smart security framework methodology, I divided this work into different layers. For example, the first layer is Internet of Things, and Internet of Things comprises different type of sensor. This sense, this check, this read the environment, the temperature, the movement, the sounds, and the metal detector, etc., and the camera movement, and all this data is streamed to the emergency control room. And in emergency control room, there is the fog computing technology. There are different type of servers this monitor this data, and there are such type of notifications which are serious, which shows that the institution is under attack. There are some type of firing, there are flames. Then this will notify the cloud computing layer, and in the cloud computing layer there central emergency control room work, where all the district officials are sitting and monitor all the data. So in the methodology, this is the structure methodology, that how the smart security framework work. As you can see that this is the layer where all the devices, all the smart devices are installed, and this reads all the environment, and all data is sent toward the server. The server analyze data, it store data, it compute data, and this data is analyzed by the central emergency control room, where administrators, police officials, rescue, and in the case of emergency doctor may monitor all these data, and all the admin according to the incoming data, according to the incoming situations, they takes decision, and according to the decision they may send police, they control the police, they control the rescue vehicles and officials, and also the ambulances, etc. So this is the structure, that how the smart security framework will work. And in the experimental setup, as I discussed earlier, that we have sensor. We have the pressure sensor, temperature sensor, humidity, smoke, motion, flames, and high sensitive voice sensor, etc. Cameras are installed, and all this data is sent to the emergency control room, where the fog layer work, where the server works, and after that all this data is sent to the central emergency control room. And as I discussed earlier, that there some decisions are made. This is the experimental setup, and I will discuss this with you within detail, and you have to see this, you have to listen these points, that how I program the MCU. These are the microcircuit units where all the servers are attached with that, and this is the emergency control room. This is the fog layer, and all data is sent toward this server, and after that this data is sent to the cloud server. So if there is some mishaps happen, the sensor read unusual data, we have some checks here, and if it crossed the threshold value, this will ring the alarm at EC, or in the case of higher third, this will ring the alarm at the central emergency control center. So how I coded all this data, how the IoT is simulated in the packet tracer, I'm discussing in the next video. You have to see this. Thank you.